10 o'clock, it's time to get this court going here. We do have a quorum present, and with that, we'll begin today. I'm going to start with asking Pastor Parker Hartzog from Era Community Church to open us with a word of prayer, and please come right up here, yes.
Heavenly Father, we come before you today recognizing your sovereignty and goodness in this courtroom. And we ask for your grace, your mercy, your goodness, and your wisdom in every decision decided this morning. We ask for your mercy and your grace in us as we will receive these decisions. And we thank you for this morning. We thank you for the ability to live in a community and a country where we get to have such decisions decided for us in a room where we have this freedom. We thank you, and in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Commissioner Matt Sicking, if you would, please lead our pledges.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody for being here, taking part in our county government today. First thing, do we have any public comments other than on any agenda items? I think the items that we have farther on in the agenda here we'll take as they come up, but any other public comments that, aren't part of the agenda? All right, item number 6, presentation of a proclamation recognizing the 150th anniversary of the First Christian Church of Gainesville. Okay. And I shall read such proclamation. Cooke County Commissioners Court proclamation recognizing the 150th anniversary of the First Christian Church of Gainesville, Texas. Whereas the members of First Christian Church of Gainesville, Texas are gathering to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the church's founding on May 19, 2024. And whereas the church traces its roots to the denomination's founders, Alexander Campbell and Barton Stone. And whereas the earliest members met in a local schoolhouse before organizing on May 10, 1874. And whereas the 13 charter members formed Dixon Street Christian Church on land donated by Rufus Scott in the 400 block of North Dixon. And the first building was constructed on that land in 1878. First Christian Church has maintained a continuous presence in the 400 block of North Dixon since. And whereas through the decades, this venerable house of worship has continued to grow and flourish under the spiritual leadership of 43 dedicated ministers whose efforts have secured its reputation as a bedrock of the Gainesville community. And whereas for a century and a half, First Christian Church of Gainesville has served as a source of inspiration and guidance to generations of worshipers, and its continued existence is a testament to the unwavering commitment of its members and clergy, both past and present. Therefore, be it resolved that the sesquicentennial anniversary of the First Christian Church of Gainesville, Texas, be commemorated and that its members be extended sincerest and best wishes for a meaningful and memorable celebration of this significant milestone. Signed this 13th day of May, 2024. And we will sign the proclamation. Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve. Commissioner Hollowell, second Commissioner Snuggs, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 4 and 1 absent.
Judge,
Yes. Say again.
looks like the date first incorrect. We just need to revise it. We'll get it
Ah.
present them. Looks like it was dedicated or created. What you say?
Celebrating 100th anniversary of the church's founding.
2024.
Well, let's see, it's whereas the members of the church are gathering to celebrate on May 19th, 2024. So that's correct.
That's right.
Yeah, no, that's correct. You don't think Chelsea would? No way.
I see what you're saying though, but
Not big
you gotta
deal.
read it a different way.
Church is founded is what.
We missed it. We got on there.
But that's,
The 10th, yeah.
do you want it, or do you want it, is it correct? Do you want it fixed?
Pentecost Sunday is when we celebrate, so that's
We have one commissioner absent today. If you'd like to leave it here and get his signature when we get back, if you want to do that, we'll go ahead and
it.
take the picture.
We know what Anna Mark looks like.
Ah, there you go.
Unfortunately.
He just happens to be mine.
Oh, yeah.
Remind me of your name, sir. Mac, I'm sorry. You've gotten younger. You've gotten younger. You've gotten younger. I knew that. I'm embarrassed that I asked who you were.
Where would you like to take a picture? Out there or here?
Y'all just stay behind us, we can get right here.
Right
So
here?
we don't have
We can
business.
do
The
that.
lighting's better in here anyways.
Yep. Do that just fine. In fact, let me, I'll come around and
Make this way through the obstacle course. Much thinner,
He's the troublemaker.
I'm trying to figure out where to stand, because that's my thing, get right out of your face.
On the side of the pole?
We need to go out in the hallway.
This is actually, I think it's good. Got somebody, need a sticker. There, just a second. No, this is so tired. I'm sorry. Shame on me. All right, that's.
Let's just do that, okay. 1, 2, 3. Thank y'all for being here. Stay out of trouble.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm feeling shocked.
Congratulations on that day. I am going to crash.
why are you gonna crash?
I am the chairman of this anniversary for 2 years. He did it to me.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, this is my life.
Well, good for him.
Thank you, guys. You must have. Thanks for your patience, guys.
Item number 7 is the consent agenda. And the consent agenda includes non-controversial and routine items that the court may act on with one single vote. The judge or a commissioner may pull any item from the consent agenda in order that the court discuss and act upon it individually as part of the regular agenda. Deliberate and consider, I won't go through them, but I would like to pull item K. Motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of item number K. Commissioner Sicking.
Second.
Second is Commissioner Snuggs. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? There are none. That's 4, 1 absent. Okay. The reason item number K is pulled is because I'm a member of that commission and I'm going to recuse myself on that. So let's take item K separately then. And someone want to make a motion on item K? Item number K is Commissioner Sicking.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Snuggs. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And there are none. So we have 3, 1 abstention, and 1 absent. That concludes the consent agenda. Item number 8, we're going to open a public hearing.
We're not gonna do it. There was some miscommunication and it wasn't supposed to be on the agenda.
We're going to, item number 8 is going to be no action then. Which also includes 9 and 10.
And if there was some miscommunication, it wasn't even supposed to be on the agenda. No appeal is taking place at this time on the wedding venue at the edge of the lake.
Okay. So item 8, 9, and 10 are no action. Item number 11 is to open a public hearing, request by GDHI Homes for a zoning change from agricultural to residential on 29 acres located at East Lone Oak Road, Valley View, Texas.
What's the correct acres? 49.1. We do have a typo. It's supposed to be 49.01 acres. 49.02 acres.
49.02.
Yeah.
We'll correct that here. Do we need to?
I don't think it's an issue. Just state it for the record. It's 49.02.
For the record, item number 11, instead of 29 acres, should be 49.02 acres.
That happened when it went down to the P&Z as well. It must have been a number somehow in the file that got put in the wrong spot. Anybody wish to speak on this one? Yeah.
We didn't get an opening time. We didn't get an opening time to open this meeting.
10:13. You guys need to say it?
Do what now?
You didn't give a time to open this meeting, this open meeting?
10:13.
Oh, 10:13, that'd be fine.
Okay.
If you'll state your name and who you're with, sir, before you begin.
Good morning, Commissioners. I am Lee Allison with Allison Engineering Group. We're the design firm representing this project and the client. As you know, we've been through the planning and zoning commission. It's approximately 49 acres on Lone Oak Road. We are proposing to subdivide the land into 15 tracts for residential use. The smallest tract being 2.53 these are presented in the comprehensive plan and the other two are added in the zoning ordinance. First one is compatible future land use. Does this property align with the future land use designation? It does. The comprehensive shows residential. Compatibility on density. Density is changing over time as land develops. We have provided some maps, I believe, in your backup material that show generally how some of the land is developing in the area. I've got one exhibit here with us with a large orange triangle. You can see some of the others adjacent to the property. And I ran out of there. I got a green light now, maybe that's better. And then we have another exhibit that goes out a little farther and shows how land is developing in the general area. So we believe we are compatible with item 2, proximity to the lake. We are near the lake, obviously, because we're in the zoning district, and we do meet the vision expressed in Chapter 2 as we read it. I think that's more of a background information than it is expectations. The design standards, we have laid this out to meet the design standards in the ordinance. I will say that as we go through the plating process, this project will receive further scrutiny by the county, and if anyone should find any discrepancies in dimensions, we've got plenty of flexibility to correct those at that time. But so far, we've been over it with a fine-tooth comb, and we've not found any. When it comes to compatible existing land uses, we see these types of land uses all along the road in this area. It meets with what's called for in the comprehensive plan, and this seems to be generally what's happening to some degree in the area, and believe we're compatible. When it comes to drainage and water runoff, I don't know if we put it in your packet, but we went ahead and did the level of drainage analysis that we don't normally do until we get to the preliminary plat. We have, in this development, have provisions for detention ponds, so we will not be increasing any flows off-site, and we will not have any adverse impact on the off-site. If even under existing conditions, if anybody has reported any kind of concerns with today's drainage, which after yesterday there might be a lot, but if there's any concerns, if they will let us know about them, we can see if there's something we can reasonably do to accommodate within our development as far as the construction of our ponds. But we need to know about it in a timely manner and in advance. With that, we have contacted TxDOT. Our original layout, we had one road entering into this site and all the lots getting access off an internal road. However, after some discussions with commissioners, we determined that the county would prefer to have 2 entrances, so we have now got it designed with 2 entrances. Even though TxDOT would allow us to have drives all along Lone Oak Road, the county does not allow individual residential lots to access these roads anyway, for the thoroughfare plan. So we're not having any lots accessing.
You
the
really
road.
think TxDOT would allow that right there?
Pardon?
I don't know if TxDOT would allow that right there on that corner or not.
We've already spoke to them, and as long as we meet the site distance based on the speed limits that are there today, et cetera, and we've double-checked the line of sight possibilities, and they would, but it doesn't matter because we're not doing it anyway. But
I see them turned down all the time when they're not within, when they're too close. So
right. And we've gone even further exploring with TxDOT during the zoning phase than we normally would. We've gone into the preliminary planning element of it. So, and of course, the water, there'll be a public water system out there, and all the lots will be served by septic system. I could go on and on about this, but these are the primary items that are necessary for consideration in zoning. But I will be glad, I guess maybe later after the public hearing, to respond to any questions, or even now, that you might have regarding this development.
I'm glad you brought up the current drainage. I'll get with you this week. I do have a neighbor that does have concerns, I don't know if they're legitimate or not, but he's lived out there a long time, and he did mention he'd like to talk to y'all in the early phases to make sure something doesn't happen. But I'll actually send the number to you.
Well, I love coming to Gainesville, eating across the street, so we'll be glad to meet
Okay.
with
Yeah,
anybody.
it's
in
not a
that
big deal, but
regard.
he would like to talk to y'all.
All right.
And then, well, of course, whenever we're in the P and Z went a little far in some of the things, and we'll delve deeper into this. One of the things that was brought up was a legitimate concern. Is the property owner here? Is the developer here? Okay. One of the things is we need to work on who would have maintenance of the holding ponds. We need to remember to put that in the.
It'll be the developer.
Okay. Are they
The
gonna-
ponds, it could be under the requirement of the individual property owner
Yes.
versus an HOA, and we may have it under the property owner with assistance by the HOA financially, since everybody
Yeah, so there will
contributes to it.
there'll most likely be an HOA then. Okay. Because that was one of the other concerns was
At least for the drainage portion of it.
the holding pond maintenance, because
Yeah.
sometimes they end up on one person's land and they don't maintain them, and it becomes an issue, so.
Typically, what we would do, and we can discuss this with the county, but we would put it in a public drainage easement. That way, if it wasn't maintained by an individual property owner, the county could come in, do the maintenance, and put a tax lien on the property. And that's usually enough incentive to keep them maintained.
Okay. Okay. Anybody have any questions for him?
I think the public can hear.
Okay, yeah. That's loud. Would anybody else come to speak on?
Time for me to sit down and shut up.
Did anybody else come to speak on this item? Okay.
If not, we will close the public hearing at 10:22. Item number 13, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the request by GDHI Homes for a zoning change from agricultural to residential on 49.02 acres located at East Lone Oak Road, Valley View, Texas.
They do meet all the requirements. Of course, this process started almost a year ago. Got tied up down in the P&Z for various reasons. That some of them I agreed with, some of them I didn't. It's been a long time coming, but the only negative I've had on it was just people not wanting to see houses by them, but that's not a good reason. And then the other one was all the land down there is slotted to go 2.5 acres, but then people say that it doesn't fit the, I don't know, what's the word? The intent. But, you know, it's when it fits all the criteria, I mean, there's no reason that we can deny it, because those are the rules set forth. You know, the intent is almost like an opinion, and that's one of the gray areas that we need to fix on these P&Z rules. It's all open to opinions and visions and things like that. So those are one of the things I want to sew up in the upcoming months. But with that being said, I do make a motion that we approve the zoning change for this 49.02 acres on East Lone Oak Road.
We have a motion, Commissioner Snuggs, to approve item number 13. Do I hear a second? Second, Commissioner Sicking. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? And there are none. The motion passes 4 to 1 absent.
Thank you, we appreciate it.
Thank y'all. I'll get with y'all and get you the number of that resident.
We're glad.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That brings us to item number 14. We're going to open another public hearing requested by Thomas and Whitney Kilgore for a special use permit on 17.65 acres located at 655 Triangle Road, Valley View, for a winery and tasting room. We'll open that hearing at 10:25. Anybody wish to speak to that particular item?
Is Thomas here?
Ah, okay.
Thank you, Your Honor, and thank you, Commissioners. So my wife and I would like to open a small tasting room to produce our wines that we grow on our property in our agricultural operations. So we were honored to bring that before the P&Z for our specific use permit, and we would appreciate your consideration of that.
Okay, would you identify yourself?
Yes, sir. I'm Thomas Kilgore.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Anybody else want to speak to this item? That was easy.
That was easy. Item number 15 is close the public hearing then at 10:27. Item number 16 is deliberate and consider possible action regarding the request by Thomas and Whitney Kilgore for a special use permit on 17.65 acres located at 655 Triangle Road, Valley View, for a winery and tasting room.
Like Mr. Kilgore said, this went to the P&Z and it was approved. With that being said, we did briefly discuss the special use permits at our workshop last week, and I want to get with the P&Z and then get with you guys to, kind of tighten up some things on these and some of the procedural things, get out some of the gray area, and just clean up the whole application process and everything moving forward. But I think none of the neighbors are upset about this or anything like that. I think it's a good little agricultural deal on Triangle Road. And I'll make a motion that we approve this special use permit.
Motion, Commissioner Snubbs to approve item number 16. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second, Commissioner Hollowell. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? And there are none. Once again, 4, 1 absent.
And continue on with the Precinct 2 show.
Don't leave yet. There you go. Item number 17 is to open public hearing request by Terry Shires for special exception for a road frontage variance on 30.982 acres located at 890 Harpole Road, Valley View, Texas. We'll open that hearing at 10:29.
Yeah, I'm Steve Scribner with Scribner Real Estate, and Mr. Shires, they had some surgery this morning, so they couldn't be here, but he's got 30.9 something acres there, and he's wanting to split his property into 2 tracts, 2 15-acre pieces. He's asking for the special exception for the road frontage because there's only 90 feet now. There's one driveway that has 60 foot and one driveway that has 30 foot.
Stop the packet.
I don't know if y'all have these or not.
We don't. That's why can you bring it up here, Steve? Make sure it's not in here before I say that.
So here's Harpole Road, and this property has a 30-foot driveway. These are on deeded land. It's not an easement. And then the other one is 60 foot. His house currently sits right here, and he's just trying to split the property this way just to make it a little bit more marketable to sell.
They can access that half of it.
This driveway over here,
Who's gonna own that?
the property, it's deeded. It's deeded with this half, and this property is deeded with this half here. It's all part, it's not an easement, it's a deeded part of it. And then this is just another horse ranch property right here. It's on it. So even the track that they have now doesn't have the 250 feet. It only has the 90.
Is this where Charles Harpole used to live in this spot? Is that who
You
bought?
know what? I don't know the answer to that.
What's the variance for?
Well, just because typically this wouldn't be,
That should have been 60 foot when it started.
Well, I think the Lake Ray Roberts zoning requires 250 in it, 250 to.
No, the width of the easement, the width of this right here, which is deeded to the property, been a flag lot, should have been 60 foot, just like this is. Now, and so I don't know what variance you're asking for right now. That's what
Well,
I'm trying to
because
understand.
in the Ray Roberts now, they require 250 of road frontage for the lot. So
Okay.
even the current bill doesn't meet
So to make that, this needs to be 250 foot wide.
theoretically.
yeah, I
but
think this is an old,
Yeah, no,
This
I'm
is,
just,
track,
this is
yeah.
all they have,
I'm
yes.
just trying to understand.
yeah, no, I'm just talking out loud.
And they didn't, well, I say that, I don't think they ever had anything to do with this part. When they bought it, it was like this is the way they bought it.
This was probably
It's been a while.
pre-P&Z guidelines.
Probably,
Yes.
yes, I would imagine. I think the house that's currently there is 20-something years old, 25 years old.
When was the P&Z established?
Late 80s.
When,
You know when the P&Z was established? It's been over 20 years.
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
well, the lake was late 80s, so the P&Z was mid 90s, but it was so vague for so long.
Like I said, there's already an existing home on this half of it. The existing home is where they live, right here. And then there's a couple of drainage easements that come off the backside of it right there. But, and there's actually a couple of landlocked pieces that are back here.
Oh, wow.
Are only accessible by boat.
Wow.
With it.
Is that core property or is that private property?
The two tracks I'm referring to are private property. Some guys out of, it was originally some doctor out of Louisville area, and now his nephews inherited it. And when they actually put the lake in, they tried to buy it from the guys, the story this guy's telling me. But when they tried to put the lake in, they wanted to take it. He said, no, I don't want you to take that. I'll keep that. They said, well, you're going to be landlocked only by boat. He said, that's fine. so now I don't know what they do with it now.
On private beach.
And, but there's really not anything, he's not taking it other than just splitting it completely in half. So it'd be 215, approximately, yeah, right about just straight down the middle. There'd be two 15-acre pieces, and he's not trying to put a subdivision in. You know, at most, there would be one other house. Right there.
Oh. Okay. All right.
why did he want to split it? Tell me that again.
He's really trying to make it, they're an elderly couple.
Okay.
They're trying to move a little closer to the doctor's offices in town. And we've had it on the market for 4 or 5 months now and not getting much action. So he thought maybe if he could get it down to a smaller price point by selling off 15 acres of it, he could achieve his goal a little bit easier.
P&Z's approved it.
How's he getting to his house now? Is this in place?
This driveway,
It's in place.
yeah. And so is this one. They could use some gravel on it, but it's in place.
Okay. This is old grandfather type issues right here.
Because this, like today's standard, would be a flag lot.
Yeah. And I think we have to have more than 60 foot now for the flag lots, don't we? Is it more than 60 foot now?
Not
Well,
in
the
the-
P&Z, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
On the rest of the county, is it 60 foot?
60 foot. On the regular subdivision, 60 foot. No, right away. Your,
Did the ditches
your
look
road,
yesterday
when
on-
you enter
did
60
the ditches
foot.
look good on 215 yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We're gonna keep going. It's just gonna be a while. Okay, you need more? Anybody else here to speak on this one?
All right. That being the case, we will close the public hearing at 10:36. That's item number 18. And item number 19 is deliberate and consider possible action regarding the request by Terry Shires for a special exception for road frontage variance on 30.982 acres located at 890 Harpole Road, Valley View, Texas.
P&Z approved it 7-0, so I'll go with P&Z. Make a motion, we approve this variance.
All right.
If it was something new, I wouldn't be for it, but since it's an old property, it's prior to all the new rules,
All the rules.
we, gotta go with it.
All right, then, item number 19, motion Commissioner Snuggs for approval. Mayor, second.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Hollowell. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And there are none. That motion passes 4 to 1 absent. Item number 20. Open a public hearing request by, is that 120 or I-20? Is that 120?
120.
Looks like 120 Terrell Land Holdings LLC for a zoning change from agricultural to residential on 8 lots located partially in Cooke County in the proposed Lake Geneva subdivision on Chisholm Road at Hewling Road, Sanger, Texas. Open that public hearing at 10:38.
Anybody here to speak on that one?
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Jim Dewey. I'm with JDJR Engineers. I'm here today representing the property owners for this proposed development. I am the engineer of record for this property. The vast majority of this development is within Denton County, and a very small portion along the north side is actually in Cooke County. There's actually only 6 lots instead of 8, as the agenda says, that have any portion within the Cooke County. Within Cooke County. We did go to P&Z. We were hoping to get 2-acre lots approved because most of them are in Denton, but that was not approved, so we have all of the lots that have any portion within Cooke County do meet the minimum of 2.5-acre lots. We reached out to Cooke County. They deferred all reviews to Denton County as far as engineering reviews, plan reviews. All of the construction plans have been approved, and they're very anxious to get started with development. So with that, I'd be glad to answer any questions you have regarding this request.
Everything he said is correct. It went to P&Z, they denied it, and it's, don't quote me on the number, but it's like the rear 50 foot of these lots is in Cooke County. So, and they were drawn to be 2 acres. They asked for a variance to keep them at 2 acres. P&Z board wanted to stay consistent with the 2.5, even though only the back 50 foot stays in the lot. I asked them to do to 2.5 acres, and they
And the lots that are in Cooke County will have access on a new street
yeah.
that's within Denton County.
Yeah, they're building concrete streets back behind there. They're not even going to be fed by Cooke County, so it's a Denton County development.
Now, you mentioned that's going to be 6 lots. Is that 6 lots total, or is that 6 lots that affect Cooke County?
No, just 6 within Cooke County.
There's
Okay.
75 lots?
I think there's 67.
I knew it was close. It's a bunch. It's a,
It's Denton County project.
oh yeah.
And one of the lots that's actually partially in Cook County is an open space lot. It will not have a residence on it. It's at the main entrance into the subdivision, and we want to do some enhanced landscaping and entry features in that area. And that lot will be maintained by the HOA.
This one too's been going on for 8 or 9 months.
Okay.
Is there anybody else here to speak on this one? Close that one too.
With that, I will close the public hearing. Item number 21 at 10:41.
And thank you for being here.
Appreciate it. Item number 22 is deliberate and consider possible action regarding the request by 120 Terrell Land Holdings LLC for a zoning change from agricultural to residential on 6 lots located partially in Cook County in the proposed Lake Geneva subdivision on Chisholm Road at Hewling Road, Sanger, Texas. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion, Commissioner Snuggs. Do I hear a second? Well, I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. Motion passes 4 absence.
I'm going home.
Pardon?
Your part's over, you
My part's over.
You don't care whether he's absent or?
Well, he's already absent, it's just 4-0, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you, Pam.
And thank you everybody for being here. I'm sorry that the one y'all all wanted to speak on got pushed, but appreciate everybody's involvement. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Y'all don't have to leave. I was just thanking y'all for being here.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun, isn't it? It ain't around.
Debbie, we'll talk real soon. Okay. They were here about the wedding venue, the one that wasn't even supposed to be on the agenda. I don't know. There was some miscommunication. It will be back. They are going to appeal the decision, but they're not going to do it right now. They want to get some more ducks in a row and then maybe even try the PNC again. They're trying not to make it a bad deal. They don't want any bad blood. But there was no sense in hashing it all out again today when they're not ready. Because it gets ugly.
I got you. Okay, item number 24 is to deliberate and consider possible action regarding the approval of the SB 22 grant and related. What?
23.
Oh, I sure did, didn't I? So sorry. Item number 23 is deliberate and consider possible action regarding out-of-state travel for Phyllis Griffin and 2 other Cook County 4-H members to Washington, D.C. on May 30th through June 2nd. Any questions on that?
Is Phyllis here? What is, does
No, we
anybody,
tried to call her earlier.
does anybody know what it's for? So there's been some misconceptions in the public about why sometimes we allow out-of-state travel and sometimes we don't. If they can't get the training that they need in-state, we do
That's right.
allow special approval to go out of state, so.
That's right.
Or if it's funded by
Or if
somebody
it's
else, like
funded by
forfeiture
somebody else.
funds,
Yeah.
There's back.
there's the agenda.
Oh,
But
I guess I should
But-
read that.
What's
So
that?
I'm just used to somebody coming up and talking about it.
How's it funded, Shelley? She funded out of state money?
That's my,
This was funded.
well, we don't
I don't know
reading.
about that, but I know she's chaperoning,
Yeah.
is what it says. And in order, I guess if somebody got hurt, in order for her to take them somewhere, she had to have approval of something.
Well, it's for 4-H to go visit DC. They can only do DC and DC.
Has to be reimbursed.
If it's for, to visit DC with the kids, they can't visit DC unless they go to DC.
That's correct.
I think she's gone every year I've been here.
Yeah. I was thinking so too. Yeah.
We have a motion, Commissioner Sicking, to approve item number 23, and I'll second that one. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? There are none. Item passes 4-0. All right.
She's gonna learn you yet. Yeah.
She's gonna try, but I don't think she'll make it. All right, item number 24, deliberate and consider possible action regarding the approval of the SB 22 grant and related payroll expenses for the district attorney and the county attorney offices. And I think we have someone here to speak to this. Was Ed here too? Yeah, okay. Didn't see you sneak in over there, Ed, I'm sorry.
That is quite the festive jacket and
You
shirt.
liked it?
And
It's
I liked
my,
it. You did good.
It's my Rodney Dangerfield Country Club wear.
I like it.
Thank you. Well, Ed and I are here to talk on item number 24. We received the SB 22 grant. Both of us did $175,000 apiece. We can use it for two things, which is to give raises to current employees who are prosecutors, victims assistance coordinators, and investigators. Or we can hire new prosecutors, new investigators, and new victims assistance coordinators. So part of that money we are using to give raises to. I'm giving raises to my investigator, my victims assistance coordinator, and both of the prosecutors, Austin and Eric. And we are asking for that be granted.
What happens when the grant goes away?
I have told all of my employees that when the grant goes away, the raise goes away. So don't buy a boat.
At least not a big boat.
Don't buy an expensive boat.
I guess part of the question is, you're asking to combine,
No, I believe that's what we're going to talk about in an executive session.
okay.
This
so
is
this
just
is
strictly
just-
for the raises.
Okay,
Initially, we did give a raise, but I've decided to bump it up a little bit more, so that little bit is what I believe is being deliberated.
okay.
I have a question. I know that when it came through on the law enforcement side, it had to go through the court, but it's my understanding you guys don't have to seek
That's
approval.
not true.
We would budget it once it's granted.
Right, and that's what they're asking y'all to do now, is budget.
So we're-
Approve it and budget it,
Because
basically.
there's budget implications, right? Yeah.
Well,
And they did budget, at the time, we thought they would just get one. And so during the budget process, we did budget one last summer. Well, then it turned out they both got money.
Right.
So now,
We shared that grant.
well, we're having to shift it back to,
Yeah.
because the comptroller's office said they can't combine their money, they can't. It's standalone, separate for each. And so now they're coming to rebudget both grants.
But those budget implications would be like FICA and some of those.
these
are
grants actually
like-
The grant's paying for that, but
Yeah,
it's still, the comptroller's office still says that court is the budgeting body and that they have to, they applied for it and received it, but the Commissioners Court has the budget for it.
You said it works for two things, salaries and what else?
Hiring,
Oh.
really, it's
It's really for salaries, whether
it's
it's
retention
new
or hiring or salary.
I'm sorry, I do remember
Salary.
you saying that. I got.
And for the prosecutors, that's all it's for. We can't use it to buy equipment or anything.
My people know the same thing. Grant goes away, raise goes.
just like everybody else has been told.
Correct.
And it's yearly, so October 1, everybody, the sheriff's office and the prosecutors will have to reapply for the grant.
But it's good for the biennium, right? In other words, legislative session
I'm assuming the money is,
for 2 years.
yes.
We
but-
think.
But they have to reapply in October.
So I think 2 years, but we would have to reapply.
It's been allotted or
But after
funded.
2 years, they could say, we're not doing it anymore. And then
When
we'd
legislation
revert.
meets next year, that windfall, that their rainy day fund
Might not be
might
there.
not be there, and so they could take it away, or they could put it in statute and it'll be there forever. I mean, we don't know. But for this biennium, they have money for 2 years, but they have to apply every year on October 1st. Which
I know it's
means
been-
during the budget session, we will have to budget for it on the anticipation that they both will receive, and the sheriff's office will receive it. Yes,
Yeah, which is
like we did this year, even though we didn't get the money till
like,
March, April, somewhere in there.
I know it's been 2 or 3 years y'all approached us and briefed us on possibly hiring another attorney. I guess that need is gone away at this point, or this is the best way to, or maybe there's not enough money there to fund it, or.
I think at this point, we don't need a new attorney. So I've decided, I thought the best use would be to retain the people, the personnel that we do have, because I think they're doing a great job.
So we're just approving, allowing it to go on to the budget. We're not funding it or anything,
That's
so
right.
I make a motion to approve it.
Commissioner Snuggs makes the motion to approve item number 24. I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There are none. Item passes 4-0. Item 25, deliberate and
Thank you, John.
consider. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Deliberate and consider possible action regarding various grant funds.
So precinct 2 has been submitted, and precinct 4 has one road left, and I have re-delivered it back to Amber to look at it. I have some possible corrections or some notes, and as soon as that gets back, I'll submit that.
Just need some corrections on the road.
Yeah. Or I have some questions. And then once I get that submitted, that will be finished. And we've received all the money submitted except for precinct 2's and this final road for precinct 4. Everybody's gotten all their money. So precinct 4 has gotten a partial payment on the 3 roads I've already submitted.
So 25, no action,
Yeah, no, it's
25, no action. Item number 26, we're going to go into executive session in compliance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551, Government Code, Vernon's, Texas codes annotated, and we're going to consult with an attorney